So before we start, I want to summarize our last two discussions. The idea of Vyry initially was to create an environment where you can get away from doom scrolling for hours. You can get away from playing video games mindlessly, forgetting that you have a real life, right, social life, that you should be making friends, doing productive activities, and enjoying your hobbies. That stuff that makes you human. But now we have realized that social media was never as big a threat as what AI today is to us. It has infiltrated our way of life, and slowly we are delegating more and more to AI. And not just mundane chores, not just mindless busy work, but quality companionship, analytical reasoning, and thinking. So now basically we are slow walking towards an AI-induced social atrophy, and that cannot go on for much longer. Otherwise, we will lose what it means, the essence of what it means to be human. And this is where Fury has decided to step in. So, Tommaso, what exactly are we doing to address some of these concerns?
Well, first of all, I truly like that this topic of social atrophy, and thanks, Romeo, actually for the brilliant recap. Right, social atrophy is really losing the capability of us connecting and being able, the capability, having the ability, right, of connecting with others, right, like we have been doing. So whatever has been normal to us in our cognition, right, so talking to others, shaking hands with others, doing small talk with others, right, or meeting with others, right, because we are desensibilizing us, right? Desensibilizing us by being feeling more comfortable in leaning more into the digital world, right? Even more so than what we did actually in doom scrolling and in gaming, because in doom scrolling it was more a single way, user really centric activity with an action of being fed information, but you were on your own, right? And now in the AI space, fast forward at the AI companionship, right? You are now interacting with the intelligence in a way as if there would be a human being. So there is no longer this famous Steve Jobs saying of, technology is the bicycle of your mind, but now it's actually, technology is actually another mind. So it's your mind with another mind, and that other mind is actually faster, more intelligent, knows more, and is unbeatable in terms of it's really never gets exhausted, right? So we are now embracing circumstances where we start feeling connected, understood emotionally, intellectually, strategically, and therefore as a human being, understood as a human being, right? So that we start feeling a connection to it, which is exactly what we do as human being. When you meet your partner, right, you start understanding that you either complement each other, then you have parts and segments where you think alike, right? The famous sentences where, wow, I started a sentence and you finished a sentence, right? So all these things create what they create, emotions. And what we are actually leaning in and stepping in, right, is that we are slowly but surely, and when I say we, let me actually maybe be more truly specific, right? Gen Beta. Everyone was expecting Gen Z. No, no, no. Gen Beta were born in 2025. Within the next 5 years, are going to be 5 years old. Meaning, look at the 5 years old today, right? When you are in a restaurant, when you are in a park, these are the kids that are actually doing this, right? Today, they're in the doom scrolling. So fast forward in 5 years, Gen Beta, who was born this year in 2025, right? They're the ones who are on the mobile phone, right? But at the edge, already to wear these smart glasses, right? So they're going to have a life where AI is guiding them. AI will be the babysitter. AI will be the first voice more than parents, right? AI will be bigger than teachers, right? So AI will be very present. And with that, we are desensibilizing us, the emotion, the cognition, really the ability for us to have critical thinking, for us to be creative, right? And therefore, we need to be first aware of that. Okay. um, and that's difficult, right? Because it's difficult
Right.
because you don't have a pain. right? Because if you have a pain in your knee, Romeo, right, you go to the doctor and say, "Oh, shoot, Tommaso, you play too much of soccer or football whatsoever, right? You ran too much, you have a meniscus, you need to go in the surgery, and then you need to do rehab, right? And and rehab has machines, and these are technology that help you basically, curate your problem. Now you don't have a pain. Actually, it's luring us into being served, right? And by the way, I am in favor of AI as a servant. I'm in favor of AI, but we need to be really aware and say, oh, wait a second. This is where the line and where the understanding of what I'm accepting, right, ends, right? And that's exactly the movement that we started across colleges in United States, and then we'll swap over into not just colleges and any other school, right? Because that's the target audience, and that's the generation we are here to serve and to help, which is called the no AI friends. AI is not your friend. AI is
Yeah,
not your
exactly.
consultant. AI is not your parent. AI is not your advisor. AI is not your mentor, right? AI is here to serve you, to provide inputs. So don't build emotions for it. Now, with that in mind, okay, the tendency of us getting so much information, so much valuable information from AI, it will definitely in our society have a big portion of our society, of our next generation, will be leaning into that, right? And so humanity now is facing something that has never faced, and we need foresight for that. That is, okay, what makes us human? Creativity, right? The physical interactions that we have, because physical interactions are important, Romeo, because of the emotions that it conveys, right? You go to a concert, right, and then we say, wow, this was so thrilling. So what was so thrilling? The fact that you were in between others, the energy, right? And you were there. So you go to a cooking session. What was so thrilling? It was that you were there with us. So the physical world has such a tremendous important impact, emotional impact on our body. So answering now your question. Sorry for the longer answer and monologue, but number one, the importance of us not hiding in location where we are happy with the AI answering stuff and doing stuff for us, right? When I say doing stuff, because answering is just a chatbot, doing is the embodiment of AI within actually robots. So doing stuff for us. Oh, I know that Tommaso loves the Napolitan pizza with the thick crust where the dough was fermented 72 hours, doing stuff for us, right?
Right.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
so amazing. You did an amazing pizza. So back then, Tommaso was doing an amazing pizza. Now my robot is doing an amazing pizza. And by the way, don't get me wrong, this is amazing for as long as we human beings say, oh, wait a second, don't build any emotion, right? So thank you, robot, right? But let's go outside, outdoor. Romeo, let's meet. Let's go to a concert, right? So number one, without withdrawing us from the benefits of the digital world, right? Because it's not that it's all bad, right? But we need to consciously aware of what is a potential, what are potential core loop mechanics that might take too much of our attention, right? And so the physical world will have a layer of information on top of it, right? That we most probably will be accessing through smart glasses, right? And so you will be having almost like digital hangouts. So I call them point of experiences or hangouts, right? But they are on top of the real world. And in these point of experiences, you have capabilities and opportunities, and those become kind of locations that are truly smarter, better, go beyond the limits of the physical world. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, so instead of you looking at a plaza, you looking at a street, right? Now you have point of experience that become relevant because they only appear at the right time, at the right location with the right meaning. So that's number one, the importance that right now we don't even think about it, right? But why? Because we don't have, the future in mind. So the importance of how the relevant it is, right? By the way, Tommaso, this is maybe too futuristic. No, no, no. Wait a second. We see a series of activities around United States target audiences where they want again to go back into the real life and meet other people, right? And I'm talking not talking about dating, but truly to meet other people in the real life, right? Through series of activities, right? So that's one.
Uh-huh.
The second one is uh, yeah, truly group behavior. Human being, we are a species that find the joy and achieve a level of happiness when we are with others. So meaning in very simple words, whatever you do asynchron, whatever you do on your own, it just gets you as excited to a certain limit. So if I'm with where two or more people are together in one location with an objective, this is when an experience is created where two more people in one location have an objective, right? Where two more people are in a concert and listen to music, that's fun. Where two more people create some cooking session, right, in a location. That's every time that you talk about experience is truly the meaning that comes from that environment that you are in, the physical location with other people, right? And what it meant to you, right? And ultimately, this is exactly how we described an experience. So, second thing is group
Yeah.
behavior, right? And maybe we have done it right now in a very subconscious way. Hey, Romeo, do we want to meet? Are you up for doing some whatsoever? We gym, we go to play basketball, badminton, poker, and what? Okay, let's meet. Who is also there? This is subconsciously created. What we foresee is that in the future, these things, no, let's not meet to play basket. I can do it online, right? Or let's not do poker. I can do it, with the AI because it understands me better. And actually, my robot is cooking also the beats in parallel, right? And that will isolate us, right? And number three, we need as human being be challenged and be actually empowered to truly flourish and overflow with the essence of what makes us as human being, which is creativity. Since the ancient, since the cavemen, right? And since the cavemen, what we human beings have been always been great of doing is drawing, right, in the caves, right, and leaving
Yeah.
marks and telling stories and then building tools on how to hunt and then build, right. So that is us, what defines us, right. And again, we have been doing it more and more intrinsically, but now we are at the point where we do not have truly a pain, but we foresee that humanity is about to lose these opportunities. Now I call them opportunities, right? Of actually doing those, right? Because we're leaning into something that is taking over more and more. So yes, AI, but no AI as friends. And now consciously we need to do things, right? Back to the doctor example, right? Now we need to go to the doctor and say, doctor, there is something out there, what should I do, right? And that's
Yeah.
exactly
Mhm.
what I see, that there are going to be a series of verticalized maybe applications for consumers, right, regardless of mobile or smart glasses, with different purposes, right. And one of the purposes for us is fostering community through the act of co-creation, meaning
Yeah.
outdoor plus physical, group behavior, and creativity.
Yeah, yeah, and in that group behavior part also comes the concept of inner circle that we are creating, where you truly know who your friends are. You know the like-minded people that you have been interacting with throughout whatever time period, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
The inner circle is exactly bringing us back to um, really quality over quantity. We believe that having followers has a certain level of value, and maybe it does for influencer, but it's more than, rather than emotional beneficial, it's more financial beneficial, right? But if we talk followers from a social perspective, it definitely has not brought us any benefits. More the contrary, there are tons of studies, right? It's not Tommaso saying, right, that while we think that we were closer connected with someone, which actually disconnected us truly, right? So this title of social media, right, was more so believed or interpreted as being social, but it become more media, right? That's, consumer streaming media. They're watching it, right, and building the core loop mechanic that you are killing your boredom by watching more and more of what others are doing, but there is nothing to be social, right? Obviously, I'm a different generation, right? But the younger generation, they don't even know something else. I say, well, that is the way to, like, they were born accepting the fact that this is the way that they are social, right? And now here it comes, we have now the opportunity through AI, okay, through AI, by actually having an application that is more thoughtful towards human centric behaviors, right? And leverage then with AI other digital mediums and other digital methods, which is augmented reality, right? And the new devices of the future, such as smart glasses in the future, but today even mobile phones are pretty performant when it comes to augmented reality, so that you can actually, right, truly create core loop mechanics that are fun because outdoor, meaningful because group behavior, and allow you to express yourself because creative.
Yeah, exactly. Makes a ton of sense. Obviously, the one more thing that I would like to discuss before we end this is the large world model that Vyry has been working on, and what it exactly means to create a bespoke world that we were earlier discussing. Like, just as soon as you get on, you open your smart classes. Like, what do you see? So, tell us a little bit about the large world concept of the large world model.
What we have learned, Romeo, over the last year and a half, 2 years of interviews and group sessions with students in the United States. By now, under 20,000 students, tendency growing, right? Is that humanity, when does human, so that is the question, when does humanity, human being, us, the human being, the human, accept digital in the physical world? That is the thesis, that is the research, right? And we see a series of applications, right, for in this generation. For instance, Snapchat, right, that is doubling down a lot on things like augmented reality, right, that is more so overimposed on top of the real world. I make a difference between overimposing and merging. Overimposing, when when you have something on top of the real world that is disconnected, meaning it doesn't make sense. It's not meaningfully integrated into the environment, right? Well, merged means that it understands what are the 3D dimension, the three dimensional circumstances that you're looking at. To be very simple, if you're looking at a table, right, if you're looking at a couch, you're looking at then the digital layer, it needs to understand that there is a surface if it's a table, and how that digital layer is physically, right, respecting the physical truly circumstance, right. Rather than just having a sticker or a 3D thing just on top of, right. So the future of humanity will be accepting the digital world only if it becomes one with the physical world. Now, the large world model is a technology that we are building for our consumers, right? That ultimately is reconstructing digital twins of environment, right? Specifically, actually, campuses, right? Through images, through its crowdsourced images, right? So simply take an image, right? And then people take images, and then the rebuilt environment, and those environments become then, first of all, understood. So you know the physicality. Oh, there is a table. Oh, and these are the dimension of the table. This is the depth, right? So these are that's the reason why we have professors and PhDs in our team, right? From the most renowned computer vision, 3D reconstruction, right, and a truly yeah, large model scientists, right, that are building these technologies, one of the few actually on earth right now, and offering then consumers an environment, because it's understood, that is then also interactable. So you can actually interact with that environment on a digital level while understanding the environment, right? I like to compare it with music, right? So think of music, when you hear someone singing a cappella, right? And someone is, it then becomes, you hear a tone that is out of tune, and you automatically listen to it. You don't need to be a pro musician to understand that it was out of tune. And in your senses, your senses say there was something wrong. And the same will soon happen with the site. The site will be looking at digital. We will be, within the next 5, 10 years, right? We'll be looking at things, and the site will be saying this is out of sight. This is like, doesn't make sense how it looks, right? Because it's not
Right. Yeah.
one. It doesn't harmonize, right? And that's exactly what we are moving towards. And in order to do that, you need technology, and that's the large world one.
Well, as always, Tommaso, this is fascinating discussion. Loved talking about all of this stuff. As always, let's have another like a discussion like this next week. And till then, see you in the free world.
Absolutely, yeah. For those who feel connected with the problem, not with the solution. So, no AI friends. So, the conscious awareness of AI is phenomenally great, but not as a friend, right? Especially students in United States, but all around the globe. Join our Discord, the digital Discord, or join our Vyry world early adoption phase, meaning only .edu email addresses, and I'll see you in the Vyry world. Thanks for me.
Absolutely. Thanks.